Tuesday.
But I think we're already set up.
Well, yeah, he said that, like, I don't know if it changed this year with how you submit the lineup and then maybe the ball submits it back to you.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But it's okay if you want to say that, because I want to get your take on it, because you deal with that more like the previous years, not the last couple of years. When you were around, you knew how they submitted their lineup. Well, I
the car that they had.
right.
I mean, again, it happens. Hope it doesn't happen again. But that's why the stuff that happens with them. It happens everywhere. It happens to
If there was one thing we would have left them all that kind of party was last night. You like that?
I wish. I'm not sure why.
That one is. There's 14 minutes. It's funny as hell that Kinsler only threw 12 pitches that inning. Did they hear us all? I thought it was the camera. They can hear us.
I turned around like.
My volume goes. It's my camera.
That's where the feedback comes in.
I turned my mute. I just muted.
Yeah, we keep the yours going.
Yeah, my mic is on.
And there's just naturally going to be like an echo because of the PA stuff. How you doing? Good, thank you. What's that? Yeah. Keeping a little low until we start.
Yeah, you're reading those questions.
Oh, I am?
Yes.
Okay.
Mark, you're your fan club?
Yeah.
According to Twitter, you do. I didn't know you were that important.
In fact, I'm not. Let's keep that in mind. But, yes, Christy Lynn is a huge fan of the Phillies and started that fan club when I got canned.
Nice.
Very nice. She said she was going to come one of these days.
They're logged on.
I think she said that she was buying tickets to the 23rd.
She did. Yeah, and I told her hopefully I will be there. So I'm not 100% sure yet.
When are you going to be 100%?
Probably not until the week of. I have Ben and Ruben on hold. So hopefully
I'll tell you.
I asked them again. I said, please, if there's any way we don't have to tape on Sunday, because I've got the Phillies too. In addition to this, the problem, my niece is getting married on Saturday at my house.
Wow.
The wedding's in my backyard, and so we obviously have a lot. And then I'm a Murphy, so it's an Irish wedding. I'm probably not going to be feeling all that great on Sunday morning. I don't feel like going and taping 8 hours of a TV show if I don't have to.
Yeah, let's
I can make it here and get through this, and I can get over to the Phillies and get through that.
Are you hearing this?
But ideally, we're not taping, so we'll see.
Yeah.
I like Ben Davis, but if I had Ruben Amaro Jr. to myself for an hour, I could have some fun. My dad was like, he was excited if Tommy Green was going to do it. Yeah, we met. Yeah, the broadcasters were in the locker room. We went.
And we have to go right now. Hand things off to Chris Sack and Greg Murphy live
About time.
at Live Casino. But Dan, that was an excellent.
Is it a direct
game,
handoff,
so
or
I
we got
can't wait to
commercials
be
first?
doing this more.
No,
I
they
think
got-
this is going to be really, really fun to do. That is Dan Hennigan of Green and Barrett hitting. Coming up next, it is Baseball Brunch with Chris Sack and Greg Murphy. That's coming up next on the Gambler, presented by Pure Online Show.
Jansen, you're on.
Might as well just go to 12. Jeez. Green and barrel. Okay. I'm assuming we ran like 3 minutes. You guys mind if I get mic checks?
Mic check, mic check, mic check. 1, 2.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Does it sound low to you?
Hmm?
It doesn't sound low to you?
Murph?
Yeah.
No. They're getting the yellow. So.
Austin Lower. How's it feel, baby?
Can't see there yet.
Went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this week. You've been there before.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool. Hi, John.
And they call me big time. Look at
Johnny
you.
Gibbs. Johnny Gibbs. What's his name? Dan what? Yeah, I was tuning in and out of it. It sounds like that guy knows.
Can we get him on a flight to Atlanta?
Yeah.
Just put it on Sean's P card.
Yeah, heads up. I was here a minute ago. Zach, you called me.
Echo.
I was only hearing it when you were talking.
Okay. I think it's because that's right, because we were in the field. Yes, definitely.
So since you tapped a little bit into our time here, Jansen, does that mean that we get more time? We can go long. Thank you.
Oh, did you get Zach's text too about the music?
Now, when Murph starts talking about the ticket giveaway, I need you to put on Margaritaville.
Yeah.
Because it's Margaret.
It is Margaret.
All right, so after I do the intros and intro,
The intro's like 7.5 minutes. So
it won't be. No, it won't be. No, I'm keeping it.
Literally half the page.
I'm keeping it short, sweet, and to the point.
It's the bottom of the hour. Let's start talking about the Phillies.
Yeah.
The week that was out of the box and Boppo Rappo. Here we go with our picks, and
we'll talk to you later.
he wanted us to read that twice last week. He walks up to me, Murph, at the end. He's like, hey. Oh my God. Listen, I get it.
Yeah, I get it.
I get it.
Pays the bill.
Yes, they're sponsors for
Keep it
sure.
tight. Keep it
Yes.
tight.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Summer Sundays are meant for freshly cut grass, hard dogs, and the best baseball talk you can find. So kick back with your bacon and eggs and pour yourself a mimosa while Phillies announcer Greg Murphy and Green Legion Radio's Chris Sack break down your fighting Phils and take you around the league right now on Baseball Brunch. Like, oh.
Good morning. We are live from Sports and Social here at the brand new Philly Live Casino in South Philadelphia. This is Bud Light Baseball Brunch, powered by Green Legion Radio and brought to you by our good friends at MCS Residential and MCS Custom Cabinetry. Go to mcsinc-pa.com for all your residential construction needs. This is 102.5 Fox Sports The Gambler, 104.1 in the Trenton area, WDAS AM around the rest of the Delaware Valley. Download the iHeartRadio app and you can listen to us anywhere worldwide. I'm Chris Sack, and my co-host needs no introduction at all. Greg Murphy. How you doing, Murphy?
I'm cranky and I'm tired.
Oh,
That
God.
was a late night last night.
Yes, it was, and there was a couple drinks last night, Murph. There was no life advice with Murph last night. I'll tell you that right now.
I'm glad you kept off the social media.
Did I?
No. It was good that you were texting me because I feel like that's like cathartic for you. You can, get it all out.
I try my best, Murph. It wasn't just you. My wife, who's here. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and my buddy Pat. They were bearing the brunt of it all last night as well. Real quick, Murph, before we go into our ticket giveaway, because we have a lot to talk about on today's show, this is just a friendly reminder that we only have a couple weeks left here with our friends at Sports and Social before we move over to 1100 Social, rated Xfinity Live. You can't miss us. We'll be down there for the rest of the season. Right. And the first one is on May 23rd. Go to greenlegion.com, Green Legion Tailgates. We'll be there as part of the tab. So make sure you go to greenlegion.com and sign up. Tickets are $60 per person. The brunch goes from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. You can join Murph and myself down there and hang out with us. And then May 23rd, before the Red Sox isn't the only one this season, Murph. We have June 13th against the Yankees, July 18th against the Marlins, August 15th against the Reds, which is my dad's birthday, so hopefully he'll come out to that one as well. And then we'll have another one in September, but a lot of it depends on the Eagles' schedule. So make sure you guys go to greenlegion.com and sign up. We'd love to see it. I'd love to have a packed house for our first one down there at 1100 Social on May 23rd, Murph. And Murph, I believe you said that you're going to be there at 9 a.m. and you're going to be greeting people, taking pictures with them, signing autographs, because nobody wants to do that with me.
Well, if it's anything like last night, I'll be there just because the game won't be over yet. So I'll just walk over after the game and hang out and wait for the brunch to be served. Lots of good food, by the way, coming your way on.
Fantastic. Yeah, so, Quimby wants me to read all of this, but if you know what breakfast and brunch food is all about,
you're going to get it.
Yeah, you're going to get it. So just make sure you come on down. We don't want to waste too much time on that. Jansen already took up 3 minutes of our show. So I want to go ahead here with you, Murph, and I know you have some tickets to give away for coming up in a couple of weeks here against the Marlins.
We do indeed. Ticket giveaway, 2 tickets for the Wednesday, May 19th game against the Miami Marlins. It is Margaritaville night. I am a huge parrot head.
You are.
I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that. I went to one show in Camden, and I'll tell you what, man, I got sloshed.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what we do.
Absolutely.
I've seen Buffett probably about 25 times. So, love the guy. Yeah, so it is Margaritaville night on May the 19th. You can win 2 tickets right now if you answer the trivia question by following the Green Legion Radio YouTube channel or the Green Legion page on Facebook. And our Twitter handle is Green Legion. Here's the question. Speaking of early in the morning, at 4:40 in the morning on July 3rd, 1993, Phillies closer Mitch Williams hit a walk-off single to drive in Pete Cavilla to finish the second game of the doubleheader against San Diego. We all remember that. But who was the pitcher for the Padres that gave up the walk-off hit to the Wild thing? I think it would have gotten this one. But there you go. So make sure you get your answers in, and we'll have our winner coming up later in the show.
Sounds great. And I know Sam is keeping her eye on all of our social accounts right now. So they'll give me over the name, and we'll announce that at the top of the second segment, as well as we'll get the call, the Harry Cowles call, which is one of the more iconic calls in Harry's career, up there along with the bevy of others. We are ready for now out of the box here as we're going to talk about the week that was for your Philadelphia Phillies. And if you look at the record,
it was a good week.
It was a great week.
It was a great week.
5-2, a 5-game winning streak, a 4-game series sweep of the Milwaukee Brewers. But I'll tell you what, Murph, I'm definitely not happy today. I'm not happy at all. Here's the catch with this, all right? Only the third time since July 31st to August 5th, 2018 that they've won 5 in a row.
Yep.
No such streak in all of 2019, 2 5-game winning streaks in 2020, and they were separated by 1 loss in between them. And now this past week, they have not won 6 in a row since June 30th to July 7th, 2018. Haven't won 7 in a row since, can you guess?
2016.
September 2012.
I was going to say
September 2012, Murph.
So you're telling me it's been a while.
It's been a while.
But if I said to you last Sunday, hey, going into this week, Bills are going to win 5 and lose 2. You sign up for that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the way they lost the
I know.
last one, Murph. And Murph,
I know.
for those of you who listen to Green Legion Radio and you know the segment that we carry on our airwaves here, the sack attack. And this has a lot to do with my my beef with last night, okay?
Should I get you a Bud Light first?
God, I don't think we want that because Jansen's going to have to keep his hand on the dump button for sure. Now, Murph, here we go, okay? So last night, it's 3-1, okay? And Adrian's is at the plate, and Neris has 2 outs, nobody on. Full count. Why are you not making that guy earn it? Make him earn it. Why are we giving him a free pass? I don't care what you do, Murph. I don't care. Throw it and make him hit the ball and put it in play. He hits a solo shot. It's still 3-2. Yeah. You still have the lead.
All right, let me stop you there because I'm going to tell you to pause just on the word make him earn it. Give it to him. Neris is not trying to walk in there, obviously. He did walk
But don't nibble.
Well, sometimes that's splitter. He doesn't know where it's going. And, it's part of its effectiveness. But Adrianza has killed the Phillies. I mean, this guy, he's been a thorn in their side. Yeah, it was not ideal. You certainly don't want to put the winning run up to the plate, especially with Sandoval and his track record, not only against the Phillies, but as a pinch hitter in general. But, Neris isn't trying to do that there, and that's my point.
So let's not throw a fastball on a 3-2 count to Adrianza, okay? But let's throw a fastball on a 1-2 pitch to Pablo Sandoval. Yeah. Okay, this guy has historically killed us. This is the second time now he's killed us this season. Now, granted, it didn't kill us the first time in the home opener, okay? But this time it did. It came back to bite us. Yep. And then we go ahead and, Kinsler in the 10th, and that was a, high wire act. And Maton, unbelievable hit in the 11th inning, give us the lead, and then we give it right back. And then the following inning, the 12th, we have a 3-run lead. 3-run lead. If there was ever a night that I wish that Joe Girardi would leave Angel De Los Santos off of the lineup card, it was last night. Because that 3-run lead evaporated very fast. It evaporated almost as fast. Thank you, Jansen. Evaporated almost as fast as my hairline has the last couple of years. This is just pathetic. I cannot believe we did not get one single out last night, Murph, in that 12th inning. Not one. And it really, last night, it bothered me. It still bothers me. And I don't envision it not going away anytime soon, Murph, until tonight when the Phillies take the mound with Aaron Nola and they go on the field. And we're probably not going to have JT Realmuto in the lineup tonight. So I want them to make me feel better, Murph. I want them to make me feel better. I want you to make me feel better right now. Can you please do that?
Bud Light to the front. Bud Light to the front. Here's how I can make you feel better.
This is baseball.
It's baseball.
Yes, it's not like the Eagles.
Right. And they play again today. They play again tonight.
That's the beautiful thing about baseball.
It is, and that's so important to remember. So when you take a step back and put it in perspective, look, last night was terrible, and certainly the Bills did not want to get into a situation where Angel De Los Santos was the guy coming in the 12th inning trying to lock that game down. But they blew 2 saves before that, and that's who they had at that moment, and it didn't work out. And remember, and this is the same for both teams, but 3 runs in the 12th is not the same as it used to be 2 years ago when the runner does not start at second base.
Right.
Everything changes with that runner at second base. It's just weird. I mean, it happened for both spots, but you just see what it does to teams when a guy starts out there on second base. I hate that rule.
Oh, God.
I hate it.
Terrible. Awful.
That said, the Bills should have won that game last night, and they didn't. And that's frustrating and disappointing. But there's going to be games over the course of this season. There's already been one that the Bills, have won that they shouldn't have. Think about Alec Bohm back against the Braves.
Right.
So baseball has a way of evening things out, and I think it's just important to keep it in perspective. It was a bad loss last night, and it would have been great to have 6 in a row, and it would have been great to go to 4 games over 500.
And bury the Braves just a little bit more in the division.
But it didn't happen, so you get out there tonight, and you hope that you win the game with Aaron Nola on the mound. And if you do, won 2 out of 3 in Atlanta, which really, if I would have told you before, the series, you'd have taken that and run with it. So Yeah, it's frustrating. Believe me, as I sat there at the ballpark last night and watched it getting ready for the post-game show, I was as upset and angry as everybody else.
I could tell. Because normally you're pretty positive in your text messages towards me, but when I was getting back some of the, and it's not angry Murph, like I'm not getting angry Murph text messages. Yes, you know, like man, I got to do baseball brunch tomorrow with this fat balding dude named Seth. You know,
it was more like I have to talk about this game now for a half an hour at midnight, and I don't want to.
All right, so why don't we do this? Let's try and uncranky ourselves, okay? And I kind of wanted to touch on the Rhys Hoskins home run that wasn't last Sunday night, but let's focus on the positive now, okay? Let's get a little upbeat here, okay?
5 wins in the week.
Five wins in the week, 4-game sweep against the Milwaukee Brewers. Each game was highly contested. I mean, it was like the Phillies had a stretch there where they had 7 games in a row that were decided by 1 run.
Yeah.
And then sandwiched between 2-run ball games, a 5-3 game in St. Louis and a 2-0 game that Zach Wheeler pitched this past Thursday. He was phenomenal, Murph. The starting pitching has looked really good over the last week. Chase Anderson, not so much, 4 1/3, 3 earned, but I mean that's what you're going to get from Chase Anderson.
You will, yeah.
Right? You can expand the bullpen a little bit when Chase Anderson pitches, but what you've gotten out of Nola and Eflin, and Eflin has 3 total walks this year, 42 strikeouts and 3 walks.
And one of them was intentional.
There you go, and on top of that, Zach Wheeler. Like that last week, he had that bad first inning against the New York Mets. But, if you look at the start before that against Wainwright and you look at the start that he just had the other day against Woodruff, unbelievable stuff. And now here we go with Aaron Nola tonight. Why don't you talk a little bit, elaborate here, man. Let's talk about that starting pitching. It's been awesome.
Yeah, so you got 3 guys. Your top 3 starters right now pitching for the Phils are number, I believe it's 2, 4, and 7 in baseball in innings pitched. And it's kind of like an old school way of going about it. Joe Girardi giving these guys the opportunity to go deep into games. Even when they struggled early. You mentioned the Wheeler early. Nola had a game, I think it was his last start, where he was not himself early in the first inning.
What did he throw, 30 pitches in the first inning?
But then he locked it down. I mean, these are the kinds of things that good pitchers do, and which is good to see. And these guys are getting deep into games, and it changes everything. When your starters are going 6, 7, 8 innings in a game, you're going to win most of those ball games, and that's what we saw this week. We saw really good pitching. We've seen it all season with the top 3. You can make an argument right now the Phillies' top 3 starters are as good as anybody in baseball right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the Dodgers came out of the gate, and their top 4 guys were outstanding, but they've kind of come back to the
I think they had the worst record in the National League over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. So think about that. We're talking about this Dodgers team that we sat here a week ago. I think they had 17, 18 wins at the time. I think they have 19 now. I mean, they've really stumbled.
Right.
And that's why you have to put it all in perspective. You look at what the Mets have done. 1-4, lost 5. Everybody's kind of streaking. The Braves coming into this series were streaking. They had lost 2, won 3, lost 3, won 3. So that's what's happening in baseball. But the Phillies starters, they are the guys, that top of that rotation. They are the reason why the Phillies are not going to have 6, 7, 8 losses in a row this year, because they've got guys like that aren't going to let that happen. And that's really important. So you get to string these wins together when you can, get past nights like last night, and just hand the ball to your aces. Hand it to Aaron Nola, hand it to Zach Wheeler, and you can absolutely put Zach Eflin in that conversation.
No doubt. No doubt.
So you've got 3 at the top of the rotation that are pitching well. And I will say this, Vince Velasquez has been pretty good over his last couple starts.
Let's knock on some wood on that one too, Murph. Let's keep it going.
He's not going to give you 7, 8 innings. That's just not what he is doing nowadays. He just doesn't have the command for that. But if he can get you into the 6th or even into the 7th like he did last start, man, oh man, he'll take that every day.
Yeah, and then I want to elaborate a little bit on the back end of the bullpen too, because even though Hector Neris last night blew the save, he has pitched well this season. So I have to give him credit there. And he was called into duty on Monday night, had to do a 5-out save. He threw 40 pitches. That was the first time we've seen him since that point on Monday. So he hasn't pitched the rest of the week, and I think that's with good reason there. But then Sam Coonrod had to do the same thing the very next night. And here you go, Murph. With those 2 with 5-out saves, it was the first time that has happened for the Phillies since 1996 with Ken Ryan and Ricky Bottalico, for 2 different closers to have consecutive 5-out saves for the Phillies. Speaking of Ricky Bo, you had him on Glove Stories this past week, right?
We did. Told some great glove stories. Ricky Bo's always fun to talk to. So, but that's a great stat. I didn't realize it had been that long since two guys got the 5-out saves. And, you don't see them very often anymore. So for two different guys in the Phillies bullpen to be able to do that, that's really good. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I know we mentioned it last night on the air. Hector Neris coming off of 4 days rest is not very good and has not been in his entire career. He's a guy that needs to pitch with a little bit of a tired arm. His splitter is better when he's got that little fatigue in the arm.
You got to have your touch to it.
Yeah. So if the numbers, if you go back and look at the numbers, and I wish I had them in front of me, but it's pretty remarkable when coming off a 4 day rest, the lack of success that Hector Neris has had. It's kind of, counterintuitive, but it's exactly the way it's been in his career. So, you know what? He'll get back out there either tonight or tomorrow. And, not tomorrow. We're off. The Phillies are off tomorrow. But,
thank God. They need a day off.
They do need a day off.
I need a day off.
Yeah, that would be nice. But yeah, so Hector has pitched well. It didn't work out last night.
Yeah, and we have a few minutes left in the segment because we're going to extend ourselves a little bit here, thanks to John Jansen and his new show, Mr. Big Time over there. I want to talk. Hey, that's the dump button, man. I didn't say anything bad. No, but I want to talk a little bit more positives here. Friday night, we got Bryce Harper and Gene Segura back. Bryce Harper did not have to go on the injured list, but he only played one time in a week and a half.
Yeah.
So we got him back, and then Gene Segura has been red hot. A lot of people last night, Murph, on social media were complaining about the fact that he was pulled from the game in a double switch. And listen, in reality, that move was not what killed the Phillies last night. They were Hector's pitch, and then not being able to hold down two of the leads in the extra innings. But Gene Segura has been red hot, and the offense heated up on Friday night. It was about time we had a laugher. A 12-2 win, 12 runs, 16 hits. Chase Charlie Morton after only 2/3 of an inning. Kutch with 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Bryce 2 hits. JT with 3 hits. You know what's great is JT, Rhys Hoskins are both sitting on career home runs 99 right now, and Bamboo Brad Miller is sitting on career home run number 98. Yep. Who's going to get there first, Murph?
I think JT is going to get there first. Well, you know what? Let me change that. I think Rhys gets it, and I think he gets it tonight. So,
God, I hope so.
JT probably doesn't play tonight, so I'll give the nod to Rhys. He's going to get it. Probably only came pretty close to getting 100 the other day, despite that.
Yeah.
So, hey, you said that's not what did the Phillies in last night, and I do want to touch on that. Segura has been fantastic. Don't look down. Andrew Hutchins has really heated up.
He's been getting hot too, and the DD with the grand slam the other day.
Which is great to see. But you know what killed the Phillies last night? Before the game yesterday, Joe Girardi came on the pregame show and he said the best thing about the 12-2 win Friday night with the Braves was that they scored 6 in the first. But then they scored 2 in the second. They scored another 1 in the third, and they added on. Last night, complete opposite. They could not score runs after that early little flurry in the game. You can't do that against good teams. You knew that 3 runs was not going to be enough, and they could not add on. And that, in my mind, for 6-7 innings, they were 4 for 20 with runners in scoring position last night.
Yeah,
you're going to lose most of those games where you have numbers like that.
Yeah, and the Phillies built up a 3-run lead last night, and they blew it. But I'll tell you what, when someone builds something up and they don't blow it, Mcs Construction Service is the largest residential contractor in the Philadelphia area. They supply both resident and commercial contractors, everything to include custom cabinetry. Reach out to them at www.mcsinc-pa.com or call them at 484-202-3656. Ask for your free estimate so you can get started with your MCS Construction Services experience, performed with quality and safety. They are licensed and insured and performing services throughout the Delaware Valley, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, and even Maryland. Once again, reach out to them at www.mcsinc-pa.com or call them at 484-202-3656. They're also hiring, so make sure you hit them up. We are going to take our first break here, and on the other side, we're going to announce our trivia question winner. And we'll be right back right after these messages on 102.5 Fox Sports The Gambler. Woo!
That was good. You were able to get your point.
Murph, I'm trying to, because you're here, I'm keeping it as professional as I possibly can.
I think it's good. Branding, branding is just not, it doesn't do anything. You got to look at it. I think you got to put it this way.
Yeah, but Ricky Bo is so good at it.
See, I know Ricky has made a fortune doing it. It's just not me. When he and I used to do the show together, we had a blast because I was very reserved. I'm very
Even keel,
big picture, and he obviously is not. So we had some great moments on the air. It was just like I would want to get up and walk off the set because he's going crazy. Look, he's great, and people love that. People they feel his pain, and it's legit.
Love it.
He truly feels that. It's legit.
Hey, Jansen. All right, so when we come back, you're going to play. We're going to play the song that I sent you as well as the clip, and then once the clip is over, Murph, do your live read.
Okay.
All right, your first one. Which one was that? I'm not yelling at you.
Do you want to do the trivia answer?
Bucks County baseball.
No. It's the.
All right, I'll stop calling you out.
Is the clip he's playing connected to the trivia answer?
Yes.
Why don't you want to do the trivia answer once we give the winner? Then I'll do the Bucks County read. Just because they tie together.
Not a problem.
So after we give the winner, I'll do the read. I'm doing Bucks County baseball.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do next sip. Do next sip, and then let them know that we have next sips up here.
Okay.
So if anybody here, when we're on the live on the PA, if anybody wants them, we have them here.
Okay. Great.
And at the end of the segment, I'll do the Green Legion one before we go to break, and then we'll come back with Bucks County.
This is the Mitchie Poo.
Mitchie Poo, yeah. If you put what I put to you in YouTube, it's the right call. Yes.
I don't think that's it.
I was telling my wife about that last night, about how the game, the second game started at like 1:40 in the morning, and then the bars were closing, and they were letting people into the vet that were leaving the bars.
That was a crazy night. I am almost certain I was heading out on vacation the next morning.
You ready for the questions for Pablo?
Yeah. Was that Stocker's first?
No, that was a 20-inning game.
Yeah.
Where Mike Williams. I told her about that one too.
That's the game.
Dykstra hit the walk-off double.
Yeah. Yeah, it scored Stocker.
I don't think it was Stock. I'll have to watch the highlight.
Yeah.
I just remember LA ran out into the field in the skimpies.
That's something. Yeah. All right, so trivia answer, and then
Live
coming back.
We just. No.
Okay, welcome back to Bud Light Baseball Brunch here live on Fox Sports The Gambler, 102.5 in the area. You can also listen to us on the iHeartRadio app. We have our trivia question winner here, Murph, Stephen Clark. Stephen Clark, I'll send you the tickets, the 2 tickets, the Margaritaville night, which is happening on Wednesday, May 19th against the Miami Marlins. Hopefully you get one of the 3 aces out there that night when you're there. That'd be awesome. And right now we have a nice live read here by Murph.
Okay, well, should we say what the trivia answer was?
Actually, Trevor Hoffman, Hall of Fame closer Trevor Hoffman at 4:40 in the morning. Mitch Williams with the walk-off hit, which was the most unlikeliest of hits of all time.
Yes, I remember it well. All right, the next sip, as in what connects your head to your torso? NECK, next sip. Time to free up those hands and wear your drink, everybody. Visit nextsip.com and follow them at Next Sip. It holds any beverage, even bottles, cans, and snacks. It's COVID safe. Wearing your drink helps stop the spread of germs. This beautiful piece of maskery sits around your neck with a durable pouch and a straw. Protect with both hands and drink at the same time. Visit nextsip.com. Customized with your team's colors, perfect for sports events, parties, hunting, or anything outdoors. Philly born and USA made. Only $5 each. Wear your drink and free your hands. Get 15% off when you use the code Green Legion Again, visit necksip.com and follow them on @necksip. And hey, if you're here right now at the live casino, we have some neck sips up here.
That beautiful piece of mastery is in the duffel bag right behind us here. So make sure you guys come on up. We'll give you a few and take home. If you do by yourself, you want, hey, it's a perfect Mother's Day gift if you want to use it for that.
If you haven't got your special someone that Mother's Day gift, the neck sip.
Yeah, if you haven't made it to the pharmacy yet to buy your last minute card, make sure you come up here and get some neck sip for your mom. Okay, all right. Right now, Jansen actually is going to play the audio real quick here. Finally, we have it up. So, Jansen, why don't you go ahead and play the clip real fast about with Harry Callis for Mitchie Poo.
And the bit.
Swing and a big hit in left center field. And the lead is going to score. This game is over. An RBI hit by Mitchie Poo.
You know, I love that call by Harry. But having Whitey in the background, it's just classic Harry and Whitey. It's fantastic. You know, it's funny when me and Rach were walking in. Me and my wife were coming up here for the show, and we're like getting ready to walk in through security with the big duffel bag that Quimby landed on me on Friday night. I was like, this is like that scene in The Matrix where Trinity and Neo, they walk in with the duffel bag full of weapons, and they're probably gonna be like, open up the bag. Like, you know, that's what the lady says. So I'm like, oh, you want a couple? She's like, oh no, some guy gave them to me last week. And I was like, oh, is he, is he a little bit on the heavy side, but very nice hair, very well groomed and gray? She's like, yeah. I was like, oh, that's Quimby. So right now we're gonna go to our second. This is the second time we've done Bopper or Oppa. We had a lot of fun with it. It was a Phillies style version last time. But this one we've had a lot of news in Major League Baseball this past week, Murph, and a lot of great talking subjects. So I'm going to hand it over to Slash. He's got 5 of them that he wants to run with us. So go ahead, Slash. Let's start out with number 1.
All right, number 1's a good place to start. Albert Pujols will sign with another team this season after being released by the Angels last week to prolong his Hall of Fame career, despite Pujols saying that he was retiring at the end of the season. I'll start with Murph.
All right, so I'm going to say Oppo on this one. I think we've seen the last of Albert Pujols. Maybe if there's a major injury and if someone needs somebody to fill that final spot on the roster, Pujols gets an opportunity. He can still hit a little bit, but he obviously is being released for a reason. So I would say Oppo on this one, Oppo on this one, because I do not think he'll be signed.
Yeah, I'm going to go Boppo here. I think he's somewhere along the line, like you said. If an injury occurs, somewhere along the line, someone's going to be desperate enough to where they're going to have to bring a bat in, whether that's first base or DH. Now, Tony La Russa has already thrown cold water on the prospects of him joining the injury-riddled White Sox right now. But Yadier Molina tweeted out yesterday, "Let's bring it back." So I don't know. Listen, you have Paul Goldschmidt at first base. So I think it's highly unlikely because he's one-dimensional at this point. You're going to bring him off. Matt Stairs could at least play the outfield. Still at a decent point in his career. Albert Pujols is not that anymore. I think, if anything, it's a one-off. I think it's something to where maybe he plays a game with the Cardinals. You pack the crowd, and it's a nostalgia night over there at Busch Stadium.
Yeah, it's hard to do that kind of thing when you're in a pennant race, though. You need every guy.
I get you, but you can do it in May.
Okay, we'll see. All right.
The next one, this team is always in the limelight. The Mets are telling the truth about Francisco Lindor and Jeff McNeil being down in the tunnel on Friday night to chase a New York rat or raccoon instead of the two getting in a scuffle. Mark?
All right, so they're telling the truth. I will say Oppo.
You think?
They are not telling the truth. But here's the thing. I don't care. These guys are around each other all the time. They're going to get into arguments. They're going to get into scraps. They're going to get and they're grown men, and it's over 5 minutes after it happens. I think the media makes way too much of incidents like this. My bet is they got into an argument, and it's over. And so yeah, I'm going Oppo.
First of all, what 2 guys do you know in your life that are actually going to chase a New York City rat?
Yeah.
Okay, and then quickly followed by 3 or 4 other guys running into the tunnel to chase such said rat or raccoon. I don't know one single person that would actually want to do that. I'm right there with you. It's Oppo. They're lying about it, which is okay. I mean, we just played a clip from the 1993 Phillies, and I guarantee you,
Happened all the time.
all the time. There's no doubt in my mind. So, you know,
It happened in 1980 an awful lot as well.
yeah. And listen, I'm sure Lindor is very frustrated. He's getting booed. He never got booed in Cleveland. He's scuffling at the plate. Actually, later on in that game, he hit the game-tying home run. So maybe that lit his fervor a little bit. Hopefully not, because I want the Mets to stink as much as possible. But, you know, eventually he's going to get going, and maybe that's what triggered it.
Yeah, and McNeil's been pretty bad too, so they're probably both frustrated right now.
Yeah. So beat on each other and see if it results at the plate.
Move on, people. That's what I said. Go ahead.
And we'll move on to number 3. There have been 4 no-hitters this season so far. 5 if you include Bumgarner's 7-inning no-no. Major League Baseball will break the record this season with 8 no-nos in one season. That was set in 1884, and the modern-day record of 7 no-hitters thrown in 1990, 91, and 2012. We'll start with Zach here.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen, especially in this year, 2021. It seems like the hitters are very far behind right now on the pitchers. And, you know, I don't know if that's because last year, Murph, it was only a 60-game season and maybe, you know, the hitters are trying to get themselves back into a groove. A lot of these players, and you know, some players opted out, but definitely the pitchers are way ahead on the curve right now. And I know things tend to balance itself out during the course of a Major League Baseball season. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. But the way things are going right now, I cannot sit here and say wholeheartedly that there's not going to be at least four more to tie the 1884 record, but that we're not going to get 4 more no-hitters before the end of the season. Yeah. And we're here on May 9th. This is going to happen. The record's going to be broken this season.
I agree with you 100%. Oppo for me as well. And I include Bumgarner's no. It's a no-hitter. The games are 7 innings. He threw a no-hitter. To me, that should count. It's an interesting spin that Major League Baseball puts on it. But, yeah, agree 100%. I think they break the record this year. And I think it's partly because guys don't know how to hit anymore. You know, there's a lot of guys.
The launch angle, the exit velocity. Like, oh, God, I'm tired of that crap.
You know what? And I think we saw this week the Phillies doing a pretty good job of starting to, go the other way and get base hits. That's been a real focus of the Phillies organization this year at the big league level.
Needs to be.
It is, and that's how you win games in Major League Baseball. And teams are going to start to figure that out. But I agree with you. I think no-hitters, a couple more this year.
All right, number 4.
Speaking of analytics, this one's painful. The San Francisco Gabe Kaplers are going to be in a battle with the Dodgers and Padres all summer long for the NL West title.
Now, Murph, before I go ahead and I give my opinion on that, I did not put on the run sheet the Gabe Kaplers. I know Pat and my wife are over here thinking that I did. So just right here, it says San Francisco Giants. Okay,
but I know in your heart what
I try to stay away from it as much as possible, but I can't. I mean, they have the best record in the National League, so this is a hot topic, and we need to touch on it. I'm going to say Oppo, okay? If you look at historically with Gabe Kapler teams, they tend to fade, especially in the second half. The Phillies in 2018, the Phillies in 2019, and then last year with the Giants. They got off to a good start, and they faded in September. These teams tend to fade, and there's too much talent on the Padres and on the Dodgers to where over the long haul, in the course of 162 games, those two teams are not going to take that division by the reins and just dominate it the rest of the year. The Giants will be there in some form or fashion for the wild card, but they will not be in it for the division title.
I am 100% in agreement with you, and I think it has more to do with the Dodgers and Padres are just way too talented than the Giants. You're right. Gabe Kapler's record as a manager, it shows things fading late. I'm not sure that will always continue for him. However, the Dodgers and Padres are better teams than the Giants, and it's going to even itself out, and those guys are going to start to pull away. So I agree.
All right, last one here. The Yankees fans were justified in their verbal assaults of the Houston Astros star players this past week, with it being the first time they returned to the Bronx since Major League Baseball revealed their sign stealing scandal that may have cost the Yankees a trip to the World Series in 2017.
Are they justified? Okay, Lapo, I guess they're fans. Fans are entitled to their opinion as long as they're keeping it above board. I would say, you don't need to get personal and nasty about everything. But yeah, they have a right to be upset. And when you think that maybe things would have gone different, and they could have differently, and they could have won a championship. I'm sure Joe Girardi wishes things had gone differently. But I draw the line at getting personal and attacking families. But if you're just keeping it above board and giving them a hard time about the baseball side of things, sure, absolutely, fans have the right to do that.
Justified. Yankees fans justified? No, I'm going Oppo here. Okay? Because if anything, they've cheated more than anybody over the last 25 years. Okay? How many players have been on those teams that juiced? How many players on those teams cheated? Andy Pettitte lives in this, this wonderful bubble up in New York City, but who failed a steroid test? Andy Pettitte. How about Roger Clemens? That dude is a notorious cheater. That's the reason why he's not in the Hall of Fame. Gary Sheffield, a bunch of these players, Alex Rodriguez, for Christ's sake. I mean, let's face facts with facts here. If you want to call a horse of a different color, go for it. But you have cheated more and benefited more than anybody else over the last 25 years, Yankees fans. I do not want to hear it from you. I like some of the creative ideas, the Oscar the Grouch costumes, the blow up trash cans. But if you think you're justified in calling out these players, and I loved the other day, I hate what the Astros did, but I loved the other day when Jose Altuve hit that home run late in the game to give them the game, and they won it because they were down 2-0 in the series and avoided a sweep. Fantastic stuff. It was great theater, no doubt about it, because Broadway's been closed for the last year, but it was wonderful. But Oppo, you guys need to shut up, please.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if that the Phillies were the squad that got taken advantage of in that series. It would feel the same way.
Well, listen, I mean, I know some of the Phillies, the 93 Phillies, they juiced, and there was some juicers on the team, but listen, we're going to be going to break here coming up, and if we're going to talk about cheaters, we might as well talk about Boston because the Red Sox have cheated plenty. They've had a bunch of Reuters on their team, and they cheated in 2018 as well. But Baseball Brunch is part of the Green Legion Radio and Green Legion family. Remember, while our radio shows are growing by leaps and bounds, the bread and butter of the family is the experience you have with us when the Eagles hit the road. We are gearing up for an incredible Eagles road trip schedule, which will include Las Vegas, Denver, Dallas, Atlanta, Carolina, Detroit, Washington, D.C., and even a trip to the Dominican Republic for an awesome watch party weekend, either over the bye week or in place of visiting the Giants. Go to greenlegion.com or contact the office at 215-666-5940. That is greenlegion.com or 215-666-5940. Also, the Boston trip is July 9th through the 12th at Fenway Park. Me and Murph will be there, and we'll be doing a live show from the Cask and Flagon that Sunday, even though we have tickets for the Saturday game. But we'll be there. Hopefully, we're not going to be feeling like Murph will in a couple weeks after an Irish wedding being held at his house. But we are a Bud Light Baseball Brunch. We'll be right back after these messages on 102.5 Fox Sports The Gambler.
I'm going to bring you my blood pressure medicine.
I actually, because when I had the blood clots, and so I'm in the hospital for 2 days, and every time they took my blood pressure, it was very high. Yeah. And so they told me that they wanted me to have one at home, like an at home cuff. Yeah, so I bought one. I haven't used it yet. It was low. It was low on when I was at the doctor's on Friday. It was low.
That's good.
If we took it last night, you'd have to call 911. This guy is still alive after that? All right, when we come back, Bucks County Baseball, do the live read for that. And then we will go into our picks. Jansen, what time are we going to? So, am I going exactly to noon? Because normally we're done at 11:57? All right, I'm going to go to noon. Thank you. Appreciate it, Pookie. You're not a terrible person. It's okay. Listen, it's your first week of doing the show. I'm going to give you a break this week, but you do it next week, we're breaking knees.
You sounded good, though, John.
Yeah, you sounded very good. As if he needed more shows. He has the line change, Monday through Friday.
Pretty good.
On Saturdays
Saturdays.
Yeah, Mike Kern and Dick Girardi, right?
Yep.
Mike Kern and Dick Girardi.
We Bob Baffert on yesterday.
Dude, I miss Daily News Live.
Me too.
It was like the greatest show ever.
Yes, yeah.
I get
because that's exactly what it would sound like. The very first show I ever hosted on Comcast Sportsnet was Daily News Live. They threw me right into it. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. It was the hour and a half was long.
Yeah.
The hour and a half was long, but the hour when they switched it to an hour, it was perfect.
But they did some good stuff in that hour and a half.
No, yeah. Yep.
I remember I was so nervous. So I was coming over from CNA, and my feeling was that they weren't sure that I could handle it, and they threw me right into Daily News Live. I don't remember who was Marcus. Pretty sure Bill Connell.
Oh wow.
Ed Moran.
Yeah.
He was on there. He made me happy.
Bill Conley.
And John Smallwood.
Love John Smallwood.
He was such a wonderful guy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But I was so nervous.
That's a lot of personality on the show right there.
Yeah. That's the thing. There's so much you're trying to miss on that. And you're coming back with Bucks County Baseball Company.
Yeah. So the song's going to play, and then he's going to go into Bucks County Baseball live read, and then I'll pick it up, and then we're going right into our picks. And Jansen, someone didn't have a great week last week, but someone did. So make sure you acknowledge me on that. You got to hit me with the Roman Reigns. Acknowledge me.
Wrestling thing.
Yeah.
Is that a little wrestling thing you just did there?
Acknowledge me. Oh, dude, it's the best. Love it.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Murph is sitting here. He's
I'm
like,
literally communicating with people in the podcast.
I mean, if it's coming out of your pocket, sure, because I know Quimby kept on talking about Rob Oliva's doing one.
Samantha has written 3 of the things. Isn't that weird? Like something.
Maybe everybody's prepared for that already.
Can we give this Jansen guy another show so we can shut him down?
Yeah.
By the way, snowmobiling on TV right now.
I'm watching this vacuum cleaner around.
So that's also very good.
It's satisfying.
Bucks County Baseball Company is a proud sponsor of Baseball Brunch with Craig Murphy and Chris Sack. Bucks County Baseball Company is the premier vintage sports clothing and collectibles retail store in the tri-state area. Visit www.buckscountybaseballco.com or stop by their Bristol, PA location to see their incredible selection of unique vintage sports items for the Phillies, Eagles, Sixers, Flyers, and much more. Visit www.buckscountybaseballco.com or stop by their Bristol, PA location. The showroom is huge. The website is even bigger. Check out Bucks County Baseball Company. Do it now. Sounds like a little team spirit.
Just a little bit. And hey, welcome back to the final segment of this week's Bud Light Baseball Brunch. We're going to be taking you to noon today. So those of you that normally are hopping off at 11:57, we're going to take you to noon. We got a few extra minutes that were given to us. Thank you to our, I guess we can call him producer. I don't know whether I want to call him that. Back in the studio, Mr. John Jansen, Mr. Big Time with his 7 days a week shows. And I think me and him are going to try and have a wrestling show coming up here. I know my wife is going to love that. Play the turkey all day long there, Jansen. But hey, it is time for our weekly picks. We give you 6 picks on Sunday's Major League Baseball ticket. Money line, run line, over, under, run totals. Listen, we're keeping track of our season record here. And Murph was 1-2 last week.
Season record, remember that.
I know. Okay. Murph had a off week last week. He went 1-2, and yes. Thank you, God, Jansen. It wasn't me for once. But I will say this: Murph is 8-6 on the season. Rough week at the office, but he will bounce back. There's no doubt about that. But I don't want to, fuck myself up too much here, Murph. But I went 3-0 last week. I'm the only one to do that this season.
You Yes, you are.
The only one to do that this season.
You remember last week when you finished your picks, I said to you that I liked all 3 of your picks.
Yeah, but I think you've said that every show.
No, I thought your picks were awful before that. But last week, somehow, you must have bumped your head the night before or something, and you did well.
You know what? I don't think I drank that Saturday night, but I did last night. So we're probably going back to 0-3 or 1-2. But Murph holds a 2-game advantage on me right now. He's 8-6. I'm 6-8. So Murph, let's go ahead. Let's give him our picks and let's see if we can make him some money this week. What's your first one?
All right, so I'm going with the Brewers Marlins game. Pretty good pitching matchup. Sandy Alcantara and Brett Anderson in that game. The over/under is 7, and despite the good pitching matchup, I like some runs to be scored in this one. So I'm taking the over in the Brewers Marlins game. Over 7. They're going to score some runs, hopefully early, and I can sit back and relax.
Yeah, like my Dodgers game last week where I hit the over in the second inning.
That's always fun.
Man, way to kick my feet up on that one. I'm going to go with, this is my over-under for the week, Murph. I'm going to go over 9 in the Nationals-Yankees game.
Okay.
I just think that they are due for some offense up there at the new stadium, and there's going to be plenty of runs to give around with Domingo Germán and Joe Ross on the mound. So go ahead and add that to your ticket. Over 9, which is plus 100 in that game. So if you put $100 on it, you're going to get $100 back.
All right.
So over 9, Nationals, Yankees. What's your second pick?
All right, so I went with the Red Sox and the Orioles. My old buddy Nick Pivetta on the hill for the Red Sox. So by the way,
Don't do it, Murph.
they have
Don't do it.
21 wins already, the Red Sox? Or something, 21 wins?
You know, somebody at the beginning of the season picked them as my American League dark horse, and somebody said they stunk.
Yeah, and I said they stunk. but hey, you know, and they still might. But right now they're playing.
I'm going to call you out on it.
Yeah. Well, Nick Pivetta has pitched extremely well. He's 4-0 up there for the Red Sox. Dean Krimmer is on the hill for the Orioles. Over/under is 9, despite the fact that Pivetta has pitched well. One of these days, he's going to look like Nick Pivetta that we saw. So I'm going to take the over in this game as well. Over 9 in this one. I think the Red Sox probably win this and score a lot of runs, and most of it will come from the Red Sox side. So maybe 8-3 finally, Red Sox. Right?
All right. My second pick, I'm going with Adam Wainwright against probably the worst team in the National League, the Colorado Rockies. I'm taking him on the hill at home in St. Louis. St. Louis has played very well the last couple of weeks, and thank God we're done with them for the rest of the season. Take the Cardinals at minus 168 and add that to your ticket.
Yeah, I like that pick. And then, all right, I'll go an easy one, I think, as well. White Sox, Royals. Giolito on the hill for the Sox. He hasn't really hit his stride yet, but I love this game. I think it's the lock of the week. Minus 145 are the White Sox to beat the Royals. Take the White Sox. Run of the White Sox are going to win.
So the Royals are going to lose their 8th in a row. Yeah, they're playing bad baseball right now. And I don't know why I'm doing this to myself, and I don't know why I'm adding this to my ticket after last night. But I do believe in our ace. I do believe in Aaron Nola. I'm taking the Phillies at minus 112 tonight over the Braves. I don't believe JT is going to be in the lineup, but I believe the rest of the cast of characters will be. And I know for a fact after last night when Ronald Acuna acted like his hand had fallen off, and luckily he's not hurt in the long term, but he's hurt in the short term. He will not be in the lineup tonight for the Braves. He looked like he got shot. And I mean, a 98-mile-per-hour fastball to your hand, you would look like you got shot.
Yeah, but it was a bone.
Do you think? Real quick sidebar, but I'm going to get the Phillies minus 112 against the Braves tonight.
I love it.
Do you think the Braves, and I know I don't believe what Coonrod did last night was intentional.
No.
But do you think the Braves are going to take a shot at one of our guys tonight?
They might, because that's the way baseball plays itself. I certainly don't think it was intentional.
No, me neither.
Not in that situation. Why would it be? They might. Chances are if they get a big lead, if the game is lopsided, I wouldn't be surprised if they see it. Just so they send the message that hey, you're not going to be doing that all season long. These guys are going to see each other about 7-8 more times after this.
Damn.
I think the Cookie does play. Yeah, I do. Sunday Night Baseball. I think he plays tonight. If there's any way he can get out there, he's going to. So I'm not saying he'll be effective, but I think he can.
All right, sounds great. Now we're going to go to our next segment here. Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
Can you believe it?
I'll tell you what, Murph, real quick. We're getting a lot of people down here at Sports and Social today. This is awesome stuff. I think that there's a lot of people here, Murph, and it's starting to pack up. I mean, people are taking their mothers out to lunch. I'm taking my wife out to lunch here at this very spot. It's not going to be comped because I'm not that big of a deal, but we will be paying and we'll be tipping our bartenders and our waitresses as well. So make sure you guys do the same here. They've been taking great care of us over the last month. Absolutely. But hey, this is one of our favorite segments. Murph and I love doing this every single week. 2 things each that we found interesting from this past week around the league in Major League Baseball. Murph, why don't you give me your first one?
All right, so this one comes from the Phillies game. Charlie Morton, you remember, got 2 outs in the game. Pitched 2/3 of an inning the other night. He allowed 4 hits, 1 home run, walked 2 others, and let in 6 runs in the inning. But 0 of those runs were earned, all right, because of a pass ball early in the game. So his ERA went down in that game, 5.08 to 4.98. When he allowed 6 runs and couldn't get out of the first inning, he improved his ERA. That's baseball.
That is baseball for you, for sure. My first one here, and I like anything that goes back years, okay? So Brandon Belt the other day for the San Francisco Giants became the first Giants player to homer in the first inning in both games of a doubleheader since Willie Mays did it on May 22nd, 1965.
Happy birthday, Willie.
Yep, the big 9-0. I'm not going to join you there. I don't plan on making it to 90. If I make it to 80, I think that's a win across all boards. But once you get back in diapers, that's pretty much it for me. Just cut the cord, babe. Cut the cord.
There you go. Over under for you is 79.
If the last few months is any consolation with being on these blood thinners, I don't think I'm making it that far. But really, my goal in life is to make sure I'm here for my kids as long as possible. But outside of that, 40 at this point is lucky. Come on, Murph. You're not knocking on that door for a while, Murph. You're good to go.
God, I'm pretty close. All right, how about this one? The Cleveland Indians, one of 18 teams to get no-hit twice in the same season, but only the 3rd team to get no-hit twice in their first 31 games of the season. It hasn't happened since in 1884 it happened, the Pittsburgh Alleghenies, and then it happened back in 1917 to the Chicago White Sox. 2 no-hitters thrown against them in the first 31 games of the season. Ouch.
Now, the thing is, you've been in Major League Baseball clubhouses, and I've done the tour of Citizen Bank Park a couple times. Now, down there, they have to have one of those, like workers' comp boards, this many days, this many weeks since the last work-related injury. Maybe they need to put that in the Indians clubhouse, this many weeks since the last time we were no-hit.
I like that.
Yeah, because they wiped that off pretty fast.
Okay, 17, 18, not 19. Oh, bummer.
Speaking of no-hitters, and we had 2 of them this week. Yep. So we had John Means and we had Wade Miley. Orioles' John Means has threw the first ever no-hitter during which the only batter to reach came via a wild pitch.
Crazy.
Okay? And here's another one for you in regards to him. He's the first pitcher to toss a no-hitter in which he faced the minimum and neither walked or hit a batter since Terry Mulholland did it on my dad's birthday, August 15th, 1990.
I remember the Terry Mulholland one very well. But you think about that. I mean, he was obviously very dialed in, and the only base runners on pass ball, strikeout pass ball. But man, we've talked about the no hitters. It's really remarkable. It seems like every night we're in the 5th or 6th inning of some game across the country, and there's a no hitter watch, and it's happening more and more. So I think that's why we both agree that it's going to happen a couple more times this year.
And just a little side note here on Wade Miley's no hitter.
Yeah.
His inspiration was an incredible Hulk tattoo that his son Jeb had put on his right arm.
I also put an incredible Hulk tattoo on my arm this morning. There's nothing straight happened to me yet, but I'm working on it.
Thank you for the compliment, Murph. I appreciate that. and a quick Philadelphia sports one here. Okay, so Tuesday night was the first time since April 11th, 2012, that all the Flyers, the Sixers, and the Phillies won on the same night. And then they did it again Friday. They did it again 3 days later. You went 9 years without doing it at all. And then you do it within a span of 3 days.
Isn't it hard to believe that it was 9 years since
9 years?
I mean, I know it's been a pretty bleak 9 years.
Well, I mean, you got to remember the process was in that time frame. The Flyers
were in that time frame.
Well, the Flyers, their faux process that they had going on.
And the
Phillies were terrible. Yeah, actually, you know what? It's not that big of a surprise, Murph. I'm taking that back.
Yeah,
taking that back.
I think you think about it, it's really not. But hey, twice this week. It's not going to happen again for.
Well, the Flyers,
quite some time.
yeah. Well, the Phillies are off on Monday,
Yeah,
and the
so-
Flyers' last game is on Monday. So maybe we can get some Sixers going here with the Phillies.
There you go.
Hopefully, they make a deep playoff run. There's a quick look at the week ahead tonight on Sunday Night Baseball. Murph, you're tired of this, and so am I. The rubber match between your Philadelphia Phillies and the Atlanta Braves on Sunday Night Baseball. Aaron Nola taking the hill against Huascar Ynoa. I was listening to Fransky last night on the way home from my parents, and Huascar. Huascar. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Wow, God. I butchered that one.
Yeah, that was good. You were right there.
I was right there. It was close.
It's close enough.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I'm gonna go with you. You're the professional here. And then we have an off day on Monday, and then we have 3 against the Washington Nationals, and then 3 in Dunedin, Florida, not Toronto, Dunedin, Florida, at the spring training complex. You know the Phillies got to love that. They're probably going to stay in Clearwater, during those few days next weekend against the Toronto Blue Jays. But we got a big week ahead on the road. The Phillies have not played well on the road this season or for previous seasons. So what do you want to see this week out of the Phillies?
I want to see a series win tonight. Because you had the opportunity to do it last night. You didn't get it done. So you have the opportunity to Arizona on the mound tonight. So I'd like to see that. Get that monkey off your back. But they are 1-13-1 in their last 15 road series. 13-1 in their last 15 road series. So get a road series win tonight. And then go down and play the Nationals, play them tough. I'd love to see them win 2 of these 3 series on the road. All right, so if you're gonna ask me which ones, win the Braves and the Nats, and if you're gonna drop 2 out of 3, drop it to the Blue Jays out of the division. But that's what I'm looking for. Hopefully they come back 5-4, 6-3 on this road trip.
Sounds great. And we are Bud Light Baseball Brunch, 102.5 Fox Sports The Gambler. Make sure you download the iHeartRadio app. You can listen to us anywhere, crystal clear worldwide. Murph, great week again. For Greg Murphy, I'm Chris Sack, and like a 3-1 pitch to Ryan Howard, we are out of here. I didn't butcher that one this week. Yeah, last week was bad.
What
My ending. I wanted to include our whole team. Yeah, I'm my own worst critic. So after that, and I had to do 2 more hours of radio with. So it's been in my crawl all week.
You can't. Live is live.
No, but hey, I'm not, dude. I hit it this week, so I'm. Woo. Thanks, Jansen. Appreciate you, buddy. Keep that wrestling show in mind. Might be up for that. All right, buddy.